Welcome to Joe Stunner Boxing. It shouldn't surprise anyone that the fight between Alex Murphy and Aqib Fiaz went the distance, because coming in, Fiaz had 13 wins with only 2 KOs, 1 defeat, which was an 8-round retirement about 18 months ago against Reece Bellotti. That was for the vacant Commonwealth super featherweight title. Now, Alex Murphy, he had an identical record, 13 wins with 1 defeat, but he didn't have a single stoppage on his record. And he had a defeat on his record also, which was actually in his last fight, which was a unanimous decision loss to Khalil Majid, who was also undefeated. So it was a battle of undefeated. This was back in it was April of this year, and it was a good fight. It really was a very good fight. And Murphy, despite his lack of punching power, showed a lot of fortitude, a lot of guts. And you know, it wouldn't have surprised. I thought Fiaz was supposed to be the favourite, but I thought Murphy might win this. Well, I think he did win it. I think that he won 96-94, 6 rounds to 4. But the judges disagreed. The judges gave a unanimous decision to Aqib Fiaz. It was close, like 95, 96 was one, I think, and I think 97, 93, 96, 94. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain too loudly about it. A draw might have been fair, but for me, by far the lighter punches, but nevertheless the volume of punches of Murphy definitely tilted the scales in his favour over Fiaz's long periods of inactivity in most of the rounds. But yes, when he let his hands go, there was more intent on the punches. There was more meat. He was looking to, you know, put some real hurt on Murphy. He looked like he was throwing harder punches. He looked like he had more intent. Whereas Murphy, who strangely enough looked like the bigger man, not just in terms of height, width, dimensions, but also broader in the back, he was the one doing all the moving. And he was, tap, 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 bang, bang, bang. They were all very light punches, but there were so many of them, and right, not all of them landed. But what was Fiaz doing for most of the rounds, for most periods of most of the rounds? I mean, yes, he was competitive. He was moving forward. He was the one trying to be, industrious, but he didn't land enough flurries, enough heavy-handed flurries to sort of counter the volume of what was coming at him. Now, I gave the first 4 rounds to Murphy, and I gave him 2 of the last 6, which meant I had him the winner. There's no doubt the fight, you could divide into 2 halves. The first half belonged to Murphy and the second half belonged to Fiaz, because Fiaz's hands were heavier. He was looking to land heavier blows, and yes, quality of punch over quantity. I've no problem with that way of scoring a fight. But I do disagree. I do think that Murphy edged this fight. And he wasn't running. I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, Fiaz was the one coming forward. Murphy was boxing off the back foot and letting his hands go. And the pace that he set from the off was sort of 10-round fight. The pace he set was very, very, very fast, very busy, used his feet well. Like I say, boxing off the back foot, he wasn't running. And I just felt that he outworked Fiaz in most of the rounds and deserved the verdict. Now, it's not a disaster for Murphy. I mean, he has lost 2 very competitive fights by unanimous decisions on the bounce. But like I say, Khalil Majid was undefeated. Aqib Fiaz only had that 1 defeat to Bellotti. So it's not like it's the end of the world, especially when you consider that Alex Murphy is only 24. He can learn from these defeats. He'll be a better fighter for those 20 rounds that he's done with Majid and Fiaz. For Fiaz, I thought the defeat to Bellotti was a bad one. I thought, yes, Bellotti is having an Indian summer of a career. I mean, a very, very impressive Indian summer of a career. But nevertheless, I thought Fiaz kind of was a little bit exposed. He was being brought through as a big prospect. I thought he was a little bit exposed, to be honest with you. Yeah, but there's, he's probably a good domestic level fighter. Is he capable of winning a British title? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, certainly Murphy. I think Murphy. I think he's sort of British level as well. I think these are two decent fighters, two pretty good fighters, and I don't think either of their stock really took a dip, if you know what I mean. I mean, Fiaz is only a year older, and yes, he suffered that defeat to Bellotti, but maybe he learned from it. As you know, if you've watched this channel regularly, I don't care about unbeaten records. Someone once said, you only discover how good someone is, really good. You only really discover how good they are once they've lost. Meaning, how do they come back? Are they pure front runners, or can they come back, learn from mistakes, and then become better? It's an interesting idea, and it may be that Fiaz learned from that Bellotti defeat, and it may be that Murphy ends up learning from his two back-to-back defeats. We'll see. But I'd say both these guys, they're certainly English title level. Probably they're going to develop. Like I say, they're only 25, Fiaz, 24, Murphy. They're both going to develop into, I think, British title contenders. Beyond that, probably not. Because neither hits very hard at all. But we'll see, I mean, if they want any inspiration, look at Reece Bellotti. I think he lose 5 or 7 and 3 on the bounce, and he's been stopped before. And now look at him, 2-weight Commonwealth champ, British champ, and looking for the EBU belt. You can come back from defeats, definitely. So anyway, that's my spiel on this particular fight. I thought it was an entertaining fight, very good fight. Unlike the main event, which was Harlem Eubank versus Jack Catterall, which was an absolute stinker, but there we are. Sometimes the better fights are on the undercard, and this was certainly one of them. So go and have a look at it if you haven't seen it already. It's on DAZN. They'll probably stick it on YouTube at some point. And tell me what you think, because it is a pretty good fight. Thanks very much for watching the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. It's always appreciated. Your support is always appreciated, always. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll get you later. Bye for now.